Hello, good evening, everyone, on this pleasant Thursday night from Kaysville, Utah. We welcome you to KSL Sports Rewind's presentation of Davis Starts basketball. This is the Northern Utah Shootout, and tonight the host, Davis Starts, gets set to take on the Hunter Wolverines. Joined by my broadcast partner, Tyler Gibb, I'm Alexander Timolin. Good to be with you all again. All right, Tyler, turn to you. First thing I say is, this is the first look we'll get this season at the Davis Starts, who are going through a little bit of a retooling process from last year.
Yeah, they have a lot of talent all around, but it's young, inexperienced talent. They lost all their starters from a year ago, and they have enough guys to make for a great, well-rounded team. It just takes a little bit of time to figure out the roles at the beginning of the year. They've had 5 different guys score in double figures in their first 3 games, but of those 5 guys, nobody's done it in all 3 games. So still figuring that out, but they have a lot of talent across the board.
And this is a good place, Tyler. That's a good point you bring up. This is an inexperienced squad. This would be the place to get some of the experience out of the way right now against the Hunter team that's also going through a little bit of a rebuilding process right now under first-year head coach KJ Ing. But on their side, they actually do have some scorers on their side that are coming back from last year.
Yeah, it's a very different dynamic between the two teams, Alex. As we talk about the talent across the board for Davis, Hunter, they are led by 2 guys, Akwel Kosa and Dominic Fanalath. Fanalath averages 24.5 points a game, can really fill it up, and Kosa averages 17 as well, so it's really a two-headed monster for Hunter.
Boy, Tyler, it's good to be back, isn't it? I missed this. I don't know about you. I missed this atmosphere. Just being with you in the broadcast position here.
We almost didn't make it. The freeway must have caved in Draper. We went on a little 2.5-hour detour around the mountain.
That's true.
But we're here and we're ready for basketball.
I don't even want to hear about the traffic jam we went through on the way here for the rest of the night. It took us 2.5 hours. I'm really glad we left at 4 o'clock now looking at it.
All that matters is we're here for tip-off.
We remind you, as always, the game clock bug is unofficial. And with that, off we go. So Kobe Wicker will have the first possession of it here for the Darts. Wicker lobs it up, and it goes out of bounds, and that'll go over to Hunter.
Hunter comes out in a 2-3 zone on defense. We'll see what Davis does. Davis against Lehigh, they started in man and switched to a 3-2 zone that helped them surge on a little bit of a comeback. Looks like they start in man against Hunter.
Yeah, that's a good point you bring up. They are very, very accustomed to playing defensive basketball. This is their MO, as we've known under Coach Chad Sims for quite a while. But they let an open shot get off there. That is no good, and the rebound is yanked down. That's Caden Egan who pulled down the board, and here come the Darts. Fisher in the corner, kicks it back out, and Atwater couldn't pull the trigger on the shot. That's out of bounds, it'll stay here.
You can see early Hunter's energetic, rotating well on the zones. Good patience from Davis to kick it back out.
Here's Wicker now out front. Matched against Kosa, now over to Atwater. Fisher on the block. Here's Agate. That one rolls off the rim. Battle for the rebound. Kept alive. And saved to Kosa. Griffin Gallagher underneath getting there. And that one's poked away. Alex Fisher not able to pick it up, though, cleanly. Zach Fisher the other way. Kicks it out in the corner. Wicker can't pull the trigger. Puts up the floater off the side of the backboard. Fisher now tries an open look. 3-pointer. And again, a scrap for it on the floor. Loose ball picked up by Fanalath. And he gets it poked away by Fisher, who goes in and scores.
Talk about the energy Hunter's been playing with on defense. A little bit, when you get the rebound, slow it down, make sure you have control and set it up. A few turnovers early.
Talk about playing with energy. I mean, I think both teams turned it over at least 3 or 4 times on that sequence.
You see the pressure that Davis is playing with, not letting Hunter get any passing lanes.
Oh, what a great shot there from Fanalath, who's had himself a great start to the season. We're tied early on here. Averages 24 a game.
You see his ability to finish with that a little off balance, but able to float it in with the soft touch.
Wicker tries the three. Rattles out, tipped out, grabbed by Kosa's, got a man up ahead. Nicely tossed, left-handed layup, will not go. Francom was out in front, couldn't get there, and now here come the darts. Fisher drives, Atwater. Tried to step through traffic and now pull it back out, tries a corner three. Fisher flies in for the rebound, it'll stay here.
Early on, good ball movement for the darts. They're getting good looks. Inside out movement is creating open shots. Just haven't been able to knock enough down so far, but good ball movement dealing with Hunter's zone.
And we talked about just at the beginning, before we came on the air, Tyler, that's a good point you bring up, that the offense has a tendency to get a little bit stagnant for the darts. I guess it does come with the territory because, you know, this is a young and experienced squad. But at the very least, it's good that they're getting those looks early on. Now it's about hitting them.
Yeah, when you don't have a guy that's your known bucket getter, when you're still trying to figure that out, not everybody is real aggressive. They're a little bit hesitant. So you kind of see Davis still trying to figure out who's that guy. You got to figure out as you knock down shots, people will start feeling more comfortable and get more aggressive.
Fisher can't hit that one. Gallagher comes in for the rebound. Fanalat sprints up with it the other way. Against Atwater. Puts the shoulder down, doubled up in the post, gets it back out to Kosa out front. Cruz drives, left-handed floater off the glass, it goes! Antonio Cruz gives Hunter the lead.
That's a very tough finish with the left hand from Cruz, and then he makes a play at the other end on defense, forces the turnover. Good energy from Cruz early.
By my count, Tyler, that's four turnovers for Davis in the early going. It's exactly what we talked about, the energy they play with. The Hunter Wolverines giving them a bit of trouble as Fanalat hits the shot from inside the key. 6-2. Egan against Gallagher on the other end.
If you're struggling to score in the half-court offense, get some pace, push it inside, don't settle for the outside shots, and that's what Davis does, gets an easy two.
Costa the step through, got away with a travel. Ball fumbled right to Zach Fisher. Another push on the break, and Egan scores!
Egan getting rewarded by running the floor. If you're a big guy and you sprint the floor, you're going to get easy buckets like that throughout the course of the game.
Foul called here on the floor. It'll stay with the Hunter Wolverines. Clock reads officially 3:42 here in the gym. And Tyler, up and down we go here in the first 6 or 7 minutes. I mean, even without a shot clock in here, you can tell they've adjusted.
All of Davis's 6 points, first bucket came off a steal. The next two last back-to-back buckets come off of running the floor, off of a made bucket, and then a miss.
That shot rattles out there from Devin Morris, and the rebound captured by Wicker. And now here are the darts out front. Atwater drives, kicks it out. Ike Morgan, who just checked into the game, gives it back to Wicker up top. High post, here's Fisher, drives inside against Gallagher, counted in the contact.
That's exactly what Davis needs to do against this 3-2 zone. Fisher flashes up to the high post at the free throw line. Instead of catching and waiting, he just turns, sees he's got an open lane, and takes it hard to the basket. If you're going to beat the zone, you got to hit that high post and just work out of the action from there.
Fisher completes the old-fashioned three, and Davis back in front. Tanner Carlson, who just checked in, hands it to Gallagher. Fanalat has 4, the 6 so far for Hunter. Nice cut to the basket, floater on the way from Morris won't go. Fisher goes up, gets the rebound, running the floor again. There's Egan. And a timeout is called by KJA.
It's Eggett who's running the floor. 3 easy layups for him just by turning and going. With Hunter playing the 3-2 zone, you got to get back.
We'll see if they make any adjustments. We'll be back after this word from WGU on KSLSports.com with the Darts leading early by 5.
Other universities didn't fit into my life.
They said I'd have to quit my job to go to school.
They said it would take me 4 years to graduate.
They said I have to take tests when they tell me to.
They said my degree would cost a fortune.
But I didn't have to listen to them.
Because I have a university that listens to me.
Tests on your time. Courses on your time. Graduate on your time. WGU, the University of You.
Back here out of the timeout. Davis leading by 5. And so far their defense has been the story of the game as Zach Fisher goes up and powers it through.
That's a clean jam for Fisher. You know his eyes get wide open when he has that open of a fast break and can flush it home.
Morris. Fadalev wide open. Can't get that one to go. Gallagher the rebound. Cruz steps into a 3. He can't get it to go. And we are going to get a foul on the floor. It's an offensive foul against Hunter. Actually, that hit the score, or not the scoreboard, it actually hit the cord on the top of the basket, so it's dead. And that will go back to the Darts. Alexander Timolip and Tyler Gibb here. Opening night of the Northern Utah Shootout. Defending 5A state champ Olympus defeating the defending 5A runners-up Woods Cross earlier tonight as Fisher missed the bunny from in close. Fadalev drives off the key floater, no good. Up for the rebound is Eggett. Davis's numbers if they hurry. Fisher steps into a wide open 3, no. And Gallagher gets the rebound.
Good job by Hunter to rush back, make sure you don't allow any lanes down the middle for Davis to get those buckets.
A tie-up, as we're going to get a double sub here. Milwaukee Toki Uvea comes in along with Keaton Miller. And you know, that's been the story of this so far, Tyler, as we're watching this with under 90 seconds to go, is that Hunter's making a difference right now on the defensive end, cleaning up that glass, which we thought was going to be critical coming in to help him stay close.
Well, when Davis gets into the half-court offense, Hunter's done a great job. It's just off of rebounds and makes. Davis has been able to run the floor quick. When you play a 3-2 zone like Hunter has, you have to make sure you get back to stop the middle.
Miller. Here's Fadalev, who has 4 of the 6 so far for Hunter, who hasn't scored, by the way, in almost, I would guess to say almost 3 or 4 minutes, as we're under 1 here in the first quarter. Kosa trying to shovel it into traffic. Back out it comes to Miller. And given that there is no shot clock, they may very well just hold it for one shot. And KJ Ng down here on our right-hand side is putting up the 2 fingers saying 1 shot. And it gets stolen away. And now Davis has a chance to take the last shot of the quarter. Atwater drives. Eggett on the block, goes up strong, bats it in.
Great stretch from Davis. Defensively, shutting down anything for Hunter. Anytime they try to make a move inside, there's bodies there, and then great ball movement on the other end to get an easy bucket.
A 13-0 run, and that subsequently ends with a Kosa 3 as the half-court heat does not go. And the Davis Darts end the first quarter on a 13-3 run, Tyler Gibb, to take a 6-point lead. That's more like the Davis defense we're seeing of recent times. Started
a little slow, but they picked up the pace, and you see a big run.
Off we go to the second quarter. Our score at the end of 1 here in Kaysville is 15-9 in favor of the Davis Darts. Back in just a moment on KSLSports.com.
For over 25 years, Salt Lake Running Company has helped people of all ages and levels find the gear they need to start their fitness journey. From a free custom shoe fit analysis to a premium assortment of footwear and workout essentials, SLRC is a top 10 run shop in America. Locally owned, locally operated at 5 locations along the Wasatch Front. SLRC is there to help you gear up and get out. Visit a store near you or shop online at slrc.com.
Welcome back to KSL Sports Rewind's presentation of Davis Starts Basketball. This is the Northern Utah Shootout, with Davis leading 15-9. Alexander Timop alongside Tyler Gibb here in Kaysville. Davis started slow, but they're currently on a 13-3 run, and they're up by 6 here as we start quarter number 2. Egan on the baseline.
That's exactly what Chad Sims wants to see. You see the rotation around the perimeter and then quick inside pass to the high post, hit the baseline guy. That's how you're going to get your easy buckets in the half-court offense.
You got to think they're going to have to rotate out of that zone pretty soon as Kosa can't hit the 3. Here comes Fisher up ahead. Egan all the way in.
Egan has done that 4 times now. What's going on is Hunter in that zone, their big guy's down crashing the offensive glass, so he's the last one to get back for them on defense. You have to stop the ball and make sure that doesn't happen while your big guy's getting back.
A 19-3 run. Gallagher can't hit the 3. Got a foul underneath the basket. A loose ball foul that's going to go against Davis. Called against Coleman Atwater, his first team second. And Jonathan Gordon now checks in for the Darts. The Darts were down 6-2 to start the game, but since then it's been all Davis, to say the least. But Fadileth has something to say about that. That rolls out. And then the pass goes awry, out of bounds.
That's a great
to Hunter.
A great inbounds play for Hunter. Fadileth, that's one that he's wishing he had back, but a great cut, a great look for the Wolverines.
Talk about the great looks he's had. I mean, that guy has scored 24 points a game in the first 4 games as he gets fouled. I mean, Tyler, I would dream of scoring 24 a game in 4 games.
He's always in attack mode.
As a 5'6" guy, that's my dig.
It's not like Fadileth has a ton of height either. He's just so good at getting to his spots, always on the attack.
Well, that time he got it stripped away. Here's Bennett Wright, who just checked in. And now here's Wicker. Into the high post. Here's Morgan. Morgan. Wicker. Or rather, that's Wright. No good. And Gallagher again, another rebound.
I like how Davis has Morgan running that high post. He's not a super tall, lengthy guy, but he averages 4 assists a game. Great spot for him to see the floor and dish it out to his teammates.
Loose pass dribbles all the way out to Kosa out front. Now he's going to take a 28-foot 3. That's no good. And Fisher the rebound. And then Wicker throws that one away. Well, to be fair, it isn't an experienced group, and we've seen a lot of that. And you kind of do wonder if, and Tyler, they do get into that kind of a funk where they can't seem to get out of their own way in the Darts and region play. Where's the offense going to come from? Because you can't get away with that for very long.
Yeah, most of their offense tonight has come in transition off of turnovers. So you see them there trying to push the pace, but you got to be smart about it. If it's not there, just slow it down and work it back into the offense. With the defense the Darts are playing tonight, you don't need to score a ton of points. The Hunter's a team that averages 69 points a game coming in. The Darts have slowed them down. But as the season rolls on, you'll see Davis get more rhythm offensively.
Kosa splashes one from outside the arc. He finally gets one to fall. And it is back to a 7-point game again. Like you said, Tyler, the Darts don't need to score a whole lot of points, but they are going to need to start scoring in key moments.
They are. They're getting stops they need once it gets in to the half court. If you can limit the transition points and the turnovers, you're keeping yourself in it.
Fadileth misses that one off the left rim. He's had a couple of those looks not fall for him. Fadalath hasn't scored in well over almost 10 minutes. On the block, Gordon goes up. He's blocked by Cruz. And then Fadalath comes up with the board. Kosa drives, and he walked.
Good job by Kosa looking to attack. He's hit 2 threes. You want to get stuff going inside as well. Just a little bit sped up with it. But still look to attack if you're Hunter. You need to get inside so that you can start getting some looks and creating more open shots on the outside.
Doesn't this kind of have an eerie feeling of like the last game we did here at Davis when Syracuse was playing here? It was low scoring, it was ugly as Hagen reverses that one up and in. It kind of feels like we're headed that same direction now that I think about it.
Both teams taking a little while to get into a rhythm. But Davis, that's what one thing Davis does so well is they'll stick around, and Chad Sims has built a winning culture here that they just figure out how to win games and figure it out.
Another turnover. As Egan shuffled the feet. Just approaching 4 minutes left here in the first half of this first round of the second game officially of the Northern Utah Shootout. Again, Woods Cross defeated Olympus earlier tonight. Olympus defeated Woods Cross. Sorry about that. Cruz got the size advantage, got doubled up, back to Fadalath, open look for 3.
Davis comes out with full court pressure, a 2-2-1 press, and Hunter beats it and then slows it down, waits to get an open look. Great patience.
Agate again. He's been having a feast so far down there in the key. And that's been the difference here so far, Tyler, that offense in the paint really making dividends as that 3 off the mark. Rebound scrapped around and covered by Davis.
If your big guy's going to run the floor like Eggett, you got to reward him, and they are.
I mean, why wouldn't you? For the night he's had so far. Nice passing inside. That time Agat's not able to get that one to go. Cruz has a man up ahead. Fadalath, if he can get it. Puts up the shot. Goes. No good. He walked.
Fadalath thought he had the clean Euro step. The ref thought otherwise.
That second foot looked like it was just sliding behind about an inch.
Hunter setting up in a press of their own, trying to force some turnovers, make a little run before the half.
Yeah, it looks like they're setting up in a 1-2-2 full court trap here, if I know well. Clock under 3 minutes. Fisher can't hit the 3. Agate drops the rebound. Alex Fisher inside to Agate.
Great job by Fisher attacking the zone. You want to get inside and then just an easy dump off. Finding the open guy. Davis has done a fantastic job of running the baseline, having that roamer getting free.
Fadalath had that one go off the back rim and off the bottom of the stanchion, and here come the darts again. Atwater, Agate again! Not this time, but he didn't draw the foul. I mean, Kay Agate is running the floor. He's getting some serious mileage on that odometer tonight, Tyler Gibb. My goodness.
It's a great lesson for any big guy that wants to see how to get your easy points. And good job by his teammates. If there's a guy running the floor that hard, you better reward him. And you see Agate just keeps running the floor because he knows his teammates are finding him tonight.
Agate hits the first. Want to remind you, KSL Sports Rewind's presentation of the Lehigh Holiday Hoop Fest begins tomorrow morning, bright and early, 10 o'clock in the morning. Dusty Litzner has all the coverage for you, starting with RSL Academy against Durango. The day one wraps up as Lone Peak Girls takes on Centennial, Nevada. Again, coverage starts tomorrow, bright and early at 10 a.m., only on KSLSports.com. And there are some good names in that tournament, Tyler. I can't wait to watch that.
If you like high school basketball, this is your weekend.
Exactly. You got the Holiday Hoop Fest, the Falcon Classic tomorrow, or starting today, and then you have the Northern Utah Shootout. Feels like basketball season again. Wicker to egg it again!
Hey, this is awesome. Great team basketball from Davis. You see why they can be so dangerous when they have this much talent and they spread the ball. Everybody eats.
Timeout is signaled for and granted to KJ Ng. Speaking of that Skyridge Falcon Classic, we'll remind you that KSL Sports Rewind is also your home for the Falcon Classic. And Colton Potter and I will be there tomorrow as Copper Hills takes on either Crimson Cliffs or Skyridge. Coverage for that game will start at either approximately 3:10 p.m. or 6:30 p.m. Again, that's on KSLSports.com. Again, stay tuned. Later on tonight, we'll announce who Copper Hills will be playing on KSLSports.com, your home for the Skyridge Falcon Classic. Alexander Timolip, Tyler Gibb here at Davis High with the Darts leading 29-15 in their opening game of the Northern Utah Shootout. So, Tyler, you talked about it just a little bit ago that the big guys are running the floor for Davis, but what is it also on the defensive end that's allowing the Darts to stay at arm's length right now in front of Hunter? Because we know their offense is going to come and go in waves this season, but what's key about their defense heading into this really, really difficult region schedule that they have coming up in January?
Tonight,
starting with your alma mater, by the way, in Layton.
That's right. And tonight, it's been the rotation defense from Davis. They have the pressure on the ball, and anytime somebody from Hunter has found a way to get inside, the rotations are there, and they have quick hands. Those passing lanes just haven't been easy for Hunter tonight, and it's creating easy buckets on the other end.
And as we say that, Davis comes out in a 2-1-2 full court trap here. They break the press, does Hunter, and now they drop back into their normal man.
Looks like Davis is in a 1-2-2 high pressure situation.
Yep, it is, and Fadilaf is fouled on the shot by Colby Wicker. So Colby Wicker picks up the foul. That's team foul 5 for the Darts. First on Wicker, and that'll put Dominic Fadilaf at the line. Again, the averager of 24 points a game through 4 games this season. I should have said it because he missed the free throw.
We haven't seen a lot of free throws for Hunter in this game. They've, in their wins, they've been able to get to the free throw line. It's kind of been hit and miss in terms of their attempts. Try to attack, create easy, free points for yourself at the free throw line.
It's exactly what Syracuse did of years ago as Alex Fisher charges hard to the cup. It has been a total team effort here from the Darts in this first half as the Wolverines break the press, and it's stolen away in the corner by Atwater. One pass too many there. Zach Fisher now in the corner. On the baseline, Wicker gets bodied out. And we're going to get a stoppage as that's going to go the other way back to Hunter.
We talked about what Davis can do on the defensive end to make sure they're always keeping themselves in the game. And you see Atwater there. They get beat on the press a little bit, but it's Atwater who sprints back, stays in the play, and creates the steal.
And then almost another turnover down here on the far sideline. Clock stops with 51.6 to go officially here in the gym. Francom. And that pass is deflected. Kosa on the floor, tie up. And that is Hunter basketball. With 40.7 seconds to go. And theme of the night, pressure is just relentless right now from this Davis defense.
You're exactly right. In that press, they're going to want you to get to those corners around half court so they can box you in at the half court line and the sideline. The times Hunter's beaten the press, they've gotten it to the middle of the floor and then pushed it up. That time, the dribble into the sideline at half court, that's a dangerous place to be on a full court press.
And they just did it again right there, you saw. Now this time they break it, as Fadilaf had to dribble through a whole mess of people down on the I-15. Not trying to make a pun in any way about the traffic jam we saw earlier, but that was what it was like down there. Team foul 6 on Davis.
Traffic is the theme of the day, both on the roads and on the court.
Oh, goodness. We're really getting into this joke now, aren't we? Atwater goes up off the miss from Kosa. Cross-court swing. Fisher down to Egan. Takes it himself and scores!
We've seen a lot of easy layups in transition for Eggett. That time he shows his post move back to the basket.
That's it for the first half, as the Davis Stars will take a 17-point lead into the locker room. Funny that they started so slow. They were down 6-2, but the Davis Stars closed the half, outscoring Hunter 31-10 to end the half, Tyler. And theme of the night, the pressure has been absolutely relentless.
It has been relentless, and nobody's taken more advantage of that than Caden Eggett, running the floor, getting those transition buckets. Hunter hasn't had a way to slow him down yet.
So as we end the first half, it was a fast-paced, sloppy first half. But the Davis Stars, with their trademark defense, are in front at the break. It is 33-16 in favor of the Darts. When you come back, we'll start the second half as the Davis Darts lead the Hunter Wolverines here on KSLSports.com.
Other universities didn't fit into my life.
They said I'd have to quit my job to go to school.
He said it would take me 4 years to graduate.
They said I have to take tests when they tell me to.
They said my degree would cost a fortune.
But I didn't have to listen to them.
Because I have a university that listens to me.
Tests on your time. Courses on your time. Graduate on your time. WGU, the University of You.
Mountain Land Power Equipment provides exceptional service and high-quality brands you know and trust in lawn, landscaping, and snow removal products. Our experienced staff of technicians repair all types of snow plows, snow blowers, lawn mowers, small engines, and is trained to answer questions about lawn, garden, snow removal, and landscaping products. Mountain Land Power Equipment, now with 2 locations to serve you in Salt Lake City and Springville.
It all starts with a smile. To show you care, offer a sign of love, welcome someone home. Even when we don't see each other, or share a room, even without words, smiles bring us together. Let's keep yours healthy. Stonehaven Dental. Schedule online at stonehavendental.com.
For over 25 years, Salt Lake Running Company has helped people of all ages and levels find the gear they need to start their fitness journey. From a free custom shoe fit analysis to a premium assortment of footwear and workout essentials, SLRC is a top 10 run shop in America. Locally owned, locally operated at 5 locations along the Wasatch Front. SLRC is there to help you gear up and get out. Visit a store near you or shop online at slrc.com.
At UCCU, we'll provide you with a low-rate line of credit that makes it easy to access the equity in your home with no fees or closing costs.
Simply complete an application on your phone or computer and select the low-rate option you prefer.
And then sit back and enjoy the peace of mind that comes from knowing you have a low-rate line of credit. Ready for whatever life throws at you.
To learn more or start your application, visit uccu.com or stop by any branch.
Coming back.
Welcome back, everyone. KSL Sports Rewind's presentation of Davis Starts Basketball continues. Alexander Timolip and Tyler Gibb ready to start the second half of our second game of the Northern Utah Shootout. Well, Tyler Gibb, this has been a fairly interesting first half, and so far it's been decided on the, not really on the three-point line, but mostly in the paint.
Davis in the first half did a great job of adjusting to what was going well for them. They shot 0 of 9 from beyond the arc, and the majority of those attempts came at the beginning of the game. After that, they finished with 26 points in the paint. Cade Neggett, 22 points. He's the first Dart to go over 20 points in a game this season, and he did it in just one half. Another highlight for them, Colby Wicker, 7 assists. So you see that connection between Wicker and Eggett. Eggett runs the floor, and Wicker rewards him.
You know, the other thing, that's a good point you bring up too, is that Hunter has not done a whole bunch of that. You saw Dominic Fanalat's numbers. He has 8 points, but he took 10 shots in the first half.
11 assists for the Darts, 1 assist for Hunter. And that's a credit to Davis's defense. They've made it hard for Hunter to move the ball, but you've got to find a way to reward your teammates and work the ball around quick if you're the Wolverines.
Yeah, the Darts' largest lead is right now at 17. Hunter's largest lead was 6-2. Eggett again!
Right where he left off, showing he can score in a multitude of ways. That time he starts at the perimeter and makes a hard drive.
24 points for Cade Neggett, and you just touched on it too, Tyler. He did most of the damage in the, I don't know, like the late part of the first quarter and most of the second quarter.
He picked it up late. He's now 11 of 13 from the field, so really efficient night, not forcing anything.
That's ridiculous. Francom can't answer back. There's our man there for the rebound. There's Eggett.
That was a good job by Hunter, though, to move the ball. We talked about few assists in the first half.
And now Coleman Atwater finally on the board. Darts now up by 21. And
quick hands.
Another turnover here. And Eggett ahead of the pack once more.
Very quick hands by Zach Fisher to get that steal. Just pokes it away.
Kosa out front now. Gallagher. Fadalath against Fisher. Alex Fisher puts up the tough shot. That doesn't go. Eggett the rebound. Wicker drives inside. Eggett can't finish. Fisher can't either. Gallagher goes up and grabs the rebound. Kosa back the other way. Gets the screen. Drives. And that's deflected out of bounds. It'll stay here.
Good driving kick from Kosa. You could see Gallagher trying to pick up the ball and hurry to kick it out on the wing, but just couldn't quite get it in time.
Yeah, that's one where you'd like to see Gallagher just go up and take that. As this is looped into the backcourt. No violation, by the way. Here's Cruz. Francom has a lane. Tries to find Fadalath. And he's fouled from behind as Caden Eggett came over his back.
Hunter's running a lot of off-ball screens, trying to get people open, and a good job by Francom as soon as he got it on the wing to turn and go. You can't stall on offense with this Davis defense.
And then he tried to find Fadalath on the back cut, and it's stolen by Atwater. Goes in strong against Kosa, can't get it to go. Eggett finishes off the mess. Make it 28 now for Cade Neggett. He has just been living in the paint all night long, and KJ ain't seen enough. And we'll step aside with them as well. And Davis Darts cruising here at the start of the third quarter. Back after this.
At UCCU, we'll provide you with a low-rate line of credit that makes it easy to access the equity in your home with no fees or closing costs.
Simply complete an application on your phone or computer and select the low-rate option you prefer.
And then sit back and enjoy the peace of mind that comes from knowing you have a low-rate line of credit. Ready for whatever life throws at you.
To learn more or start your application, visit uccu.com or stop by any branch.
Welcome back, everyone. KSL Sports Rewind's presentation of Davis Darts basketball continues. As we have a moment, we'd like to remind you that KSL Sports Rewind's coverage of high school boys basketball continues tomorrow as Copper Hills takes on either Crimson Cliffs or Skyridge. In the Balkan Classic, coverage starts at either 3:10 p.m. or 6:30 p.m. on KSLSports.com with myself and Colton Potter on the call. Meanwhile, I'm here with Tyler Gibb at Davis High School up in Kaysville, where the Darts are leading 41-16. And the theme of the night has belonged to Caden Eggett. He's just had a night to remember down there in the paint.
You can make a whole training video on how to run the floor if you're a big guy with Caden Eggett tonight. He's done that so well.
Yeah, Thanksgiving was a couple of days, almost a week and a half ago, but apparently no one said that to Caden Eggett, as we're going to get a hip check called against Fanalath running the floor.
He's had a week to run off all the turkey and pie, and he's back into shape.
That's true. This is their payback, if you will, for getting stuffed over Thanksgiving week, which was about a week and a half ago. Here's Eggett again in the high post. Back out it goes to Fisher. Alex Fisher kicks it cross court. It's stolen by Kosa. He's got Francom ahead of him if he wants it. Instead takes it himself. Now gets trapped. Cruz for three. Into the block now, Eggett. Goes up, got it ripped away from him by Gallagher, but goes back up and puts it in. He's a human magnet right now. The ball's just sticking to him wherever he goes. That's 30.
It was great initial defense by Hunter, but he sticks with the play, gets the loose ball, and is able to put it back.
Meanwhile, we're going to get a foul called. That's called on Coleman Atwater. And that is his second, team second. Get a substitution here on the floor. Devin Morris comes into the ball game now for Hunter, replacing Francom. Davis will play Bountiful tomorrow as part of the Northern Utah Shootout, and then they'll play Olympus on Saturday. We'll have both of those games for you here on KSLSports.com, and you'll get to see more of that. Well, not Caden Eggett stepping on the sideline, turning it over, but more of him scoring for sure, Tyler Kim.
He shows he's going to hustle on both ends. He's not just doing it offensively. Comes up with what would have been a great steal, but barely steps on the line.
Under 4 now to go here in the third quarter. Darts have led by as many as 24, though it didn't really start that way. Kosa to the basket, blocked from behind by Zach Fisher. Wicker to Eggett. The trend continues.
30 and counting for Eggett. Have yourself a night.
Yeah, by our count, I think he's got 32. He's got 8 more in this quarter, Tyler. They're just pounding the paint into submission here. Cruz tries it again. That's way off.
Eggett had a season-high 17 against Pleasant Grove, and he's just showing that he can do even more than that tonight. Great move by Atwater.
So after a scoreless first half, he's getting on the score sheet now. Kosa, corner, Gallagher, thought about it. Gallagher now tries it.
That's the one thing Hunter has been able to do tonight is shoot the 3 ball relatively well.
Yeah, but they haven't been able to stop that guy on the other end.
And that's just a tough move to stop if you got a guy like Eggett. So much strength down low in the paint. Hunter's doing a good job of trying to body him up, but Eggett's just a tough guard.
Alex Fisher gets in on the fun with a 3.
First 3 of the night for the Darts.
Finally, too. It's been a while since we heard that familiar call of bullseye here inside the gym. Davis was 0 for 9, as Tyler said, before that hit by Alex Fisher, and that makes it a 30-point game now.
If it's not working behind the arc, find your way to get some easy buckets in the paint, and then the shots will start falling once you get that confidence.
That's right. It is something I think the Davis starts, I think you'll agree with me, have to keep doing, as the stanchion hold came undone on top of the key over here where they do the volleyball nets. So it's dead ball. We'll have to do it again.
I don't know how that comes up mid-play.
Yeah. I'm with you on that one, Tyler. I don't know how that... I don't know how... Does somebody trip over it, or does someone knock it over, or is there a dead spot there? Bounce the ball off it? I don't know. Doesn't really matter for Tawaki Uveo, though, as he knocks down a 3.
There we see Hunter again. They can shoot the 3-ball well.
And that's something I think a lot of people in Region 2 have to be aware of this year, Tyler Gibb, is that they can shoot. They are certainly not shy about doing it. Another turnover.
18 of their 25 points have come from the 3-ball tonight. Only 4 points in the paint.
Yeah, it's a recipe that won't work very often against the Darts. But Kosa didn't get the memo on that one as he trades the triple.
Stick to what's working for you, I guess, Alex, right? Davis gets it in the paint. Hunter, they'll get it from the 3 line.
Yeah, I think that's the cue for me. I should just stop talking about that. Fisher into the paint, counted at 1.
Davis with the patience. You got to try to, stop those easy passes from getting it into the high post. You got to put pressure at that free throw line on defense if you're Hunter. Too easy there for Fisher to get the catch, turn, and go.
Fisher to the line to try to complete the old-fashioned three-point play. And he does. Approaching 1 minute to go here in the third quarter. There's one more game coming up after this one. Bountiful will take on Skyview coming up after this game is done, as Tawaki Uvea lays that one up and in.
Great job by Kosa. Try to mix it up, get inside the paint. We see an assist. And there it is, Fisher again. You see him running that high post so well. Just turns strong to the basket and a great finish.
37 and counting left to go. Kosa, not that time. Gallagher checks back in now with 33.6 seconds to go. The Darts up by 27.
It's approaching that point. If a team gets up by 35, they'll have a running clock on everything but timeouts and free throws. Davis up 27 right now.
Yep, that's the new rule this year. As Zach Fisher, not the prettiest alley-oop, but he finished it off. A 29-point lead now for the Darts. Kosa lobs one into the corner, Fadalaf, and he gets fouled with 5.6 seconds left here in the quarter.
It's the half-court offense that's really picked up since the first quarter for the Darts. Coach Sims has to love that. We've seen the last 3 possessions for Davis. They get easy buckets when they get it inside and attack the basket.
And they're making their shots. That's the good thing. Kosa, wild shot, no foul. Clock reads officially 2.4. Our clock reads 2.2, so we'll call it good. So that'll put Kosa on the line for 2. And he hits the first. KSL Sports Rewind's presentation of high school boys basketball is presented by Heidemann & Associates, the full-service law firm that's committed to winning for their clients. Contact them today at 801-754-4240 or online at utah.law. Heidemann & Associates, the official law firm sponsor of KSL Sports Rewind. Last chance for the Darts. And Ike Morgan did not get it off before the buzzer. And that's the end of the third quarter. 59-32 your score. The Davis Darts lead the Hunter Wolverines. We'll be back to start the fourth quarter right after this message from WGU on KSLSports.com.
Other universities didn't fit into my life.
They said I'd have to quit my job to go to school.
He said it would take me 4 years to graduate.
They said I have to take tests when they tell me to.
They said my degree would cost a fortune.
But I didn't have to listen to them.
Because I have a university that listens to me.
Tests on your time, courses on your time, graduate on your time. WGU, the University of You.
Welcome back, everyone. KSL Sports Rewind's coverage of Davis Starts Basketball is presented by Heidemann Associates and Western Governors University. Alexander Timolip and Tyler Gibb ready to start the fourth quarter as Davis leads Hunter 59-32. So, Tyler Gibb, I turn to you, and this has been about what we thought it would. A young Davis team getting a good test from a hot shooting Hunter team. So far, it's their paint offense instead of, well, okay, we can credit their defense, but it's mostly their paint offense that stepped up to the challenge here so far.
Great job figuring out ways to win basketball games. A lot of teams in high school, you love to shoot the three ball, but Davis is learning, hey, we don't have to shoot the three ball to win games. We can pound it inside to our big guys and let them get physical and get easy baskets around the hoop.
Right, and that's going to be key, Tyler, wouldn't you say, going into a region where you would have to say they're going to be the decided underdogs. I mean, Syracuse is coming up the back line. You have Layton coming up the back line as well. It's not going to be an easy year for this young Davis squad in a region that's seemingly getting tougher every single year.
It's always been a tough region, and Davis will have a lot of tests in their non-region play that will help them figure out who they are and find their identity with a young team. They've had some tough losses, close games. This is a good game for everybody to get some confidence and learn a little bit more about themselves in a big win.
Right. The get fat win, as we like to say, as Morgan comes up with a steal on that one. Fadilat trying to rip it away from behind. Some of the subs are now in for Davis as Morgan goes in, can't get the roll. Fisher cleans it up.
And for Hunter, this is a team that hasn't struggled to score the ball a whole lot in their first 4 games. This is the toughest test they faced on defense. You see Kosa knock down a deep 3, so they'll be able to learn a lot from this game. The lowest points they had scored in the game coming into the night was 56. So a tough defense they faced from Davis, but they'll be able to learn a lot from this and bounce back.
There's a 3 in the corner. Brock Sturley, who just stepped on the floor, knocks it down. Just the second triple of the night for the Davis Darts. Double in the post, and that's another turnover. Fisher all the way in, and lays it in with a soft touch. And we have a stoppage here. The timeout is called by Chad Sims. As we're going to get more substitutions in. With 6:42 officially to go, it is 66-35 in favor of Davis. While we have a minute, want to bring you up to date on the score. We're watching from the Skyridge Falcon Classic. How about this, Tyler Gibb? Crimson Cliffs leading Skyridge by 3 late in the fourth quarter. So the 4A semifinalists down the road at the Timpanogos Highway making some noise there in the Falcon Classic.
Set up to be a great game. Just under 4 minutes to go, and it's tight. You love those early finishes in non-region play. You get 2 teams that don't get to see each other very often and come down to the wire.
And here's the irony of that, Tyler Gibbs. Speaking of which, that's a great point you bring up, because the second game I did was here in this gym, and many people are going to remember the Olympus Davis game of yesteryear. That was when Davis was down by 10, and they somehow turned it around in the fourth quarter. It was probably one of the best games we've seen, and how ironic is it, Tyler Gibb? That was Olympus's only loss of the entire season on the way to the state championship. That was how good that Davis team was.
It's always fun to look back at the close matches from the beginning of the year, and then to see, hey, these 2 teams ended up being some of the best in the state, and those close finishes in non-region play to start the year. That's what makes these tournaments where you get all these teams together so fun.
And they have a loaded field this year, Tyler. I mean, Skyview's in here as that free throw is up and good by Tanner Carlson. You have Bountiful in here, and you have both the 5A state runner-up and state champion Olympus and Woods Cross in this tournament with Davis. I mean, you talk about some serious talent in this tournament. I can't wait for that Davis game Saturday against Olympus. That is going to be a fun one to watch.
It'll be a weekend of great games for the Darts. Bountiful and then Olympus. They should have some, you get a big win tonight, or a win where you're up by a lot, and then get some confidence going into those close games. Well, it should be close competitions over the weekend.
Yeah, certainly the Davis-Olympus game will be a much closer contest than what we're seeing here tonight, for sure. I mean, those are two of the better teams. Those are two teams of the state that are going to go against each other that have been the better part of the last 5 years, as we're going to get another foul against Cruz. Bring it back to the sideline again. Alex Francom comes back into the ball game for Hunter.
When you see in high school teams and schools that just have winning cultures built into them, Davis is one of them, Olympus is one of them, Bountiful is one of them. And so it's fun getting these early season games where teams have a winning culture. These kids are used to winning, but you get two of those schools going up against each other. It's so fun. It's intense. You get a little bit of that playoff atmosphere early on.
Yeah, it certainly felt like a playoff game here last year when Olympus and Davis played in the Northern Utah Shootout Final. That was quite a classic that we saw back on December the 11th of last year. Fisher in the paint, yes! Boy, he was surrounded by a whole bunch of blue shirts, and he somehow still found the cup.
The last few minutes of the third quarter and early in the fourth quarter, Fisher has shown a great ability to finish inside. And once he gets it in the paint, he has great patience and great moves to just go up strong and not force it.
You know, Tyler, I feel like we should talk about this right now. That's a great point you bring up, how dominant Agate and Fisher have been in the paint. That's something Davis is really going to have to get cleaned up, because you're going up against great post players like Brevin Hamlin, Brock Mendoza. You got a lot of length and a lot of size in Region 1 that you're going up against every single night. So it's really critical, I think, that Davis has that paint offense going as Francom lays that in off the glass.
And you bring up a great point. You're going to face a lot of, some more length than this Hunter team is able to provide. So that's something you've got to be consistent with, is your toughness down low. You may not have a size advantage in every matchup, but you can always show your toughness.
Josh McKnight and Dominic Fanilaf go back-to-back from three.
3 quarters in, the teams are warmed up. You see them running back and forth. The 3 ball's heating up.
There it is again. You were saying?
3 threes in about 30 seconds between the two teams. Can we make it 4?
No. Well, we might get another chance.
There it is.
Oh, come on, man.
Fanilaf says, I want in on the action.
Oh, my goodness. They're just out there having fun now in a game like this, as we get a foul here with about 4.5 minutes to go here.
And even though the game may be out of reach, these are still big moments for teams to find a little bit of confidence, find a rhythm offensively. Fanilaf hasn't been what he's used to in terms of his scoring production tonight, but if he can hit a few shots late, carry that momentum into the next game, these moments are still important in terms of building that confidence.
Definitely something that I saw a lot of in the first game that I covered for KSL Sports Rewind, which was this Hunter team going up against Copper Hills last year. As Fisher strips that away, goes inside to the paint, can't get it to go though, and Gallagher vacuums in the rebound with one arm. Now it's Kosa racing the other way. He puts up the floater and he gets it to go.
He made that shot look so easy. He just stopped on a dime and floated it up and in from the free throw line.
And now we're going to get an inbound violation against Davis. One of the rare things I think that has gone wrong for them tonight, as far as the turnovers are concerned. But that's also something we're going to have to watch, because in a region like the one you're going into, Tyler, you can't get away with having this many turnovers in a game.
And that comes with the youth and inexperience Davis has. They've shown a lot of great flashes tonight, but always something early in the season that you can build on and learn from, cleaning up those turnovers.
Right on cue. That pass goes into the stands on the near side. Probably was headhunting some of the fans down there. It's a very low bench down there. Almost feels like you're in an auditorium, really, when you're playing in here. That's why it's so loud. It's, of course, one of the rare nights where it's not very loud, but that's because of the scoreline, as a foul is called on Fanalaf. I believe that's going to put Davis in the bonus. It does. And that is Fanalaf's second.
And you bring it up, Alex, that's something we're not super used to in this gym. Is normally when you look across at the bleachers on that side, there's a big presence from the Davis student section. But early in the season, a Thursday night, there must be, who knows what's going on with the...
It's finals. It's finals. It has to be finals, as that free throw rims out. Chased down, though. Martin can't get that to go. Smacked up in the air. Martin chases down his own board. Drives, and he gets tripped.
Davis.
Speaking of that student section, Tyler, didn't we say we were betting on what they were going to wear earlier tonight? Where it was going to be a Christmas theme or a camel theme? You said camel theme, I said Christmas theme. I think it's safe to say we both got it wrong, because there ain't nobody here.
That's right. Davis will run it with the camo theme a lot, but it was coming up to Christmas. Maybe they pull the Christmas sweaters out. The big offensive rebound there, but nothing. And we saw the game before this with Woods Cross and Olympus.
Yeah.
Both student sections had a pretty solid presence for it being at neither school, and both of them went. We had a Christmas theme, looked like a Christmas or America theme.
You Christmas America theme, yeah. Hunter now in the bonus, by the way, on that last foul called against Josh McKnight, his third coming into the game. He'll take a seat. Bennett Wright will come in his place. And we'll put Tanner Carlson on the line to shoot the 1+1.
I imagine tomorrow night there may be a little bit more of a presence with the Davis student section. A Friday night, we got Bountiful in town.
Yeah, that's a big time one right there. Bountiful's coming in. And then you got Olympus on Saturday, and you know that's going to be quite a presence coming in here. Two best teams in the state playing in that game in the Northern Utah Shootout. That's going to be something to watch.
It was the first home game of the year against Pleasant Grove that Davis barely lost. If the fans could be here tonight to see this one, see them get a big win, student section would be loving that.
Sure would, as Martin misses the free throw, or Fisher rather misses the free throw. Here comes Kosa. Puts on the brakes. Back out to Fanalaf. Fanalaf spins and can't get that one to drop. But he does draw the foul. 3:12 here in the gym. 3:12 on our clock. Dominic Fanalaf will go to the line. The 8th team foul called on Davis as Fanalaf steps up and misses the first. Bringing you up to date, by the way, on the Skyridge Crimson Cliffs game. Crimson Cliffs leads Skyridge by 1, 64-63, and the Skyridge Falcons are going to have the last say in that one as Fanalaf goes 1 for 2. Again, Colton Potter and I will be at tomorrow's game. It'll be either Copper Hills playing Crimson Cliffs, or they'll be playing Skyridge in the rematch of that second round playoff classic we saw last year as Alex Fisher gets the kind bounce.
Davis now getting rewarded with the friendly rims after they've attacked all night. It's the 3-ball that's opened up later in the game.
Then another 3 on the answer back there from Carlson. And a foul now by Fanalaf with about 2:35 to go. More subs coming in here for both sides.
This fourth quarter, we've seen think now 4 different stretches where Davis hits a 3 on one end, and then Hunter goes right back and hits a 3 of their own on the other side. It's been fun to see that back and forth. Teams finding a rhythm from deep.
And that's something that really the Hunter Wolverines are going to have to find more of as Martin hits that. We have a last sub coming in here for KJ Ng. The bench is being emptied here. That's really something the Hunter's going to have to find some consistency with, because I know people are going to say, this is Davis, and we expected this coming in, but you put up 52 points against this Davis team and you shoot the way you do, that's got to give you some confidence.
They've really turned it on in the fourth quarter, finding a rhythm, and although, too little too late, but that's still a great confidence builder going forward and moving into the season. This will be one of the better teams and defenses that you face. So if you can get that test early, learn from it, that's something to build on.
Yeah, especially for a first-year head coach like KJ Ng and his team who finished 5th with the Consolation Championship up at the Elko tournament. A very strong showing at that. On the floor, we got a tie-up. And it will go over.
And just with the way that Hunter's played in the fourth quarter, you can see that culture that Ng is building. They haven't bowed down at all. They were down big going into the fourth quarter, but they've played a great, tough quarter to end, and that helps to build that culture for KJ Ng and his Wolverines.
McKnight to the corner, another 3 on the way. Off the front of the rim, rebound goes to Keaton Miller, and here comes Marshall Holdaway. All the subs again in for both sides. We get yet another tie-up. This time it will stay with the Wolverines. And because we are over 35 points, the clock will now run continuously as part of the new rule in the UHSAA. It only stops for stoppages or for timeouts and free throws, like we're going to get right now, as Isaiah Davenport is fouled from behind. The clock stops with 1:40 to go here in the game.
I will say the pace of this game and high school basketball in general is fun when not a whole lot of stoppages. You watch college basketball sometimes and it feels like they're hardly playing. So it's fun to see high school basketball going up and down. Not a lot of stoppages. Brings a good feel to the sport.
I should stand corrected. It's actually a national rule this year, the 35-point mercy rule. Second shot by Davenport, gets the friendly hop off the back rim. Right. And he double dribbled.
Checking into the game, you see, when people get excited, tend to catch a ball on the wing and look to make a move quick. Just a little too quick.
Yeah, jumped the gun just a little bit on that one. Three-pointer on the way. That's blocked. Going up and get the rebound there is McKnight. Ahead of the pack, here comes Wright. Kick into the corner, open look for Taylor. Caleb Taylor can't hit the 3, but he gets his own rebound. Back out it comes Gordon for 3. No. Bounced off the front of the rim, bounced off the bottom of the stanchion, so it's dead.
It's fun to see the bench. Late in the game, you get some of these guys that don't get a ton of minutes in. And there it was Caleb Taylor who shoots a 3. You see all the bench stand up, get excited for their teammates when they have a chance to hit a 3 late in the game.
I feel like that would be me in certain situations. If I was playing basketball, that'd be me. I'd be into the garbage time scenario and I'd be getting up 3s like nobody's business.
Hey, they're the ones that the student section, the crowd, they're always chanting their name to get them in at the end, so nothing wrong with being that guy.
Better Wright goes to the free throw line. The Wolverines are over the 10-foul limit. So 2 free throws the rest of the way for 47.8 seconds, and the first one is good. Want to remind you, KSL Sports rewinds coverage Well, high school boys basketball continues tomorrow. Colton Potter and I are live from Skyridge High School as Copper Hills does battle in the Vulcan Classic. Their game will either be at 3:10 or 6:30 p.m. Stay tuned to KSL Sports on Twitter and on social media channels to figure out when the game will be. Here we're almost done between Hunter and Davis on the first night of the Northern Utah Shootout. Again, Bountiful will play Skyview coming up after this game, as Olympus defeated Woods Cross earlier tonight in the 5A State Championship rematch, as we got a foul. Masinani Lapua'aho, who checked into the game along with a few others. We have a half a minute to go here in the ball game, officially 31.5 to go. I will say, though, Tyler, it just feels good to be back doing basketball with you again.
It does. There's a great feel to these early season tournaments. You get it with high school basketball, college basketball in November, December. A lot of those fun games all day, out of conference or region play tournaments. And it just brings in that December coming into winter vibe.
Last 30 seconds. As the Darts will finish this one out, they'll go over 500. They go to 3-2, or rather 2-2, and Hunter will fall to 2-3. Another three-pointer one last time. That's off the mark. Gordon the rebound. That's it. The Hunter Wolverines and the Davis Darts play a fun one here tonight, but it's the Darts that come out on top by the final score of 83-53. We'll take one final break and be back with some final thoughts. You're watching KSL Sports Rewind's presentation of the Northern Utah Shootout.
Other universities didn't fit into my life.
They said I'd have to quit my job to go to school.
They said it would take me 4 years to graduate.
They said I have to take tests when they tell me to.
They said my degree would cost a fortune.
But I didn't have to listen to them.
Because I have a university that listens to me.
Tests on your time, courses on your time, graduate on your time. WGU, the University of You.
Back here to wrap it up, KSL Sports Rewind's presentation of the Northern Utah Shootout continues. Davis victorious over Hunter, 83-53. Alexander Timolip and Tyler Gibb here at Davis High School. Tyler Gibb, final thoughts from our first game of 2022-23.
Well, first thought, just fun to be back here calling a game with you and seeing these two teams play. And it was Caden Eggett who really showed out tonight. He had 22 points in the first half, finished the game, unofficially about 36 points, came out strong again in the third quarter. It was good to see someone step up and really show that they can take the reins if needed from Caden Eggett tonight.
So let's name him then. No surprise then, our Heidemann Associates Player of the Game, presented by Heidemann Associates, the full-service law firm committed to winning for their clients, Caden Eggett. And I will say, Tyler Gibb, that's a performance I will say that Davis is going to need a lot more of from not just him, but also from Colby Wicker and Coleman Atwater, and especially Zach Fisher in games where they're going to need them down the stretch in region play, especially in January, late February.
It was Eggett who, really filled up, the basket, scoring 30-plus points, but Wicker, 7 assists in the first half. He was distributing the ball. And then it was Fisher in the second half. Zach Fisher, who really showed, hey, I can chip in myself at the end of the third quarter, early fourth quarter. He showed great flashes. So a good sign from Davis. It wasn't just Eggett. It was other guys filling it up as well.
Tyler, there's only one thing that makes me upset about this. We won't get to do another game together till after New Year's. But enjoy your Christmas break, and I'll see you after the break.
Hey, enjoy the time with the family, and then we'll be back at it.
We will be back at it. We want to thank Dusty Litzner for filling in for Bill Francis tonight. Want to send a shout out to Bill. Hope he gets better soon. We'll help to have him back on our crew sometime in the next week. Again, your final score. The Davis Darts 83. The Hunter Wolverines 53. For my broadcast partner, Tyler Gibb, I'm Alexander Timolip. This has been a presentation of KSL Sports Rewind's coverage of high school boys basketball. Until we meet again, take care of one another, everyone. Merry Christmas and happy holidays.